It was a disturbing crime that shocked a community. Today, a Boyle County man pled guilty in the death of a 13-month-old child.
Our run of fantastic weather will continue through most of the 7-day. Each day includes a lot of warmth for you. We'll track all of it coming up.
UK has officially proposed to shut down a part of Rose Street, but what do students have to say about it?
It's annoying and it's going to make me like the class.
WKYT News starts now with breaking news.
Good evening to you. We continue to track the murder investigation of a Central Kentucky teenager.
About 30 minutes ago, state police announced they had charged another juvenile with murder and robbery. The body of 17-year-old Tristan Cole was found last night in a rural area off of Deep Creek Road west of Harrodsburg. The state police say the Mercer County High School junior had been shot to death. We will hear from the victim's father and get the latest on the arrest ahead on WKYT News shortly at 6 o'clock. Avoiding the death penalty, a Boyle County man pled guilty today to a crime that shocked the community.
During a hearing this afternoon, Joseph Adams admitted killing a 13-month-old boy in 2014. Adams was caring for the child at the time of his death. WKYT's Hillary Thornton is in Boyle County with our top story at 5:30.
Accused of sexually abusing and killing a 13-month-old back in 2014, today Joseph Adams back in front of a judge, this time pleading guilty for the crime. Investigators say Adams was caring for the 13-month-old boy and the boy's sister when the boy was injured. State police then charging Adams with murder, saying he is responsible for the boy's death after discovering extensive trauma to the boy's head and body. Investigators also said there were indications of sexual abuse, additionally charging Adams with sodomy. Initially charged with capital murder, facing the possibility of the death penalty if convicted. Instead today taking a plea deal, carrying a recommended sentence of life without parole.
The boy's family was inside of the courtroom today. They said while they know it will not bring little Chris back, they say they are thankful that this part is over with.
The family watching as Adams accepted guilt, quietly answering yes or no to the judge, pleading guilty to murder and sodomy. In Boyle County, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Adams waived his right to a sentencing date. Instead, the judge sentenced him today to life without parole.
And in the same Boyle County courtroom, another guilty plea was entered today. Patrick Brand pled guilty to robbery in connection to a shooting at a Domino's in Danville that left 21-year-old Zoe Reed in critical condition in September of last year. Today, a judge sentenced Brand to 15 years in prison.
A teenage boy is dead after a crash in southeastern Kentucky. Our county-by-county coverage at 5:30 begins in Knox County. Police say it happened shortly before 6 last night. Police say the driver, 19-year-old Hunter Brown, lost control of the vehicle and went over an embankment. His passenger, 13-year-old Dakota Honeycutt, was ejected from the car and died instantly.
Struck a tree and then overturned. In the overturning process, passenger was ejected.
Again, that passenger, 13-year-old Dakota Honeycutt, died from his injuries. No charges have been filed, and that investigation is ongoing. A Kentucky constable is facing charges today. Police in Rockcastle County arrested Frank Maples for terroristic threatening after deputies say he threatened to shoot officers. According to a warrant, deputies were called to Maples' home over a report of domestic violence. Maples is the Rockcastle County constable. He's been ordered to stay away from the victim.
Temperatures just keep on rising, but how high will they go? Let's check in now with meteorologist Jim Caldwell. And Jim, they just keep going up and up and up, don't they?
They will, and there's a taste, perhaps, next week of summer trying to get in here for the month of April. After we started out with some very chilly temperatures, we have all kinds of potential left. I mean, it's April. It's not supposed to be like March, but it has been for the most part so far, up and down. But we've got one way going, and that's up over the next several days here. Look at some of these readings and some of these camps across Kentucky. Just a lot of sunshine, and low and mid 70s are showing up in all of these locations. Here in Lexington, you got London at 71 degrees, with some showers very close to London, too, by the way, just down the road across parts of Whitley County. We'll check on those here in a second. And speaking of the rain, we have chances for showers breaking out in this particular area across southern different sections of the Commonwealth. So very small chance for maybe a stray shower or two, which is exactly what our Defender Radar Network is already picking up on. You see some of that rain in parts of McCrary and a little more active there into Whitley and also into Knox County. So you might run into just a rogue shower. It's in and out of your area rather quickly, and it's not really a lot of rain either, very light in nature. We have very small rain chances remaining over the next 48 hours. Those chances and maybe a few more tomorrow. Other than that, we are nice. We'll track all of it coming up in a few minutes.
The University of Kentucky wants to make a temporary closure of Rose Street permanent.
Because of construction of a new academic science building, the stretch of Rose Street between Columbia and Huglet has been closed for the last year. Now the university wants that part of the street closed permanently. Spira Rayford has reaction from students on campus.
There's a lot of stop and go here on Rose Street.
It's annoying and it's going to make me late for class.
Some students at the University of Kentucky tend to ignore the crosswalk between Columbia and Funkhauser Drive, while others simply say there's not enough room.
It's just kind of difficult for all of us, as soon as we get out of class, all of us are trying to cram into the sidewalk or cram into the road.
It's this area right here that is the main point of concern for UK officials. They say keeping students safe means keeping cars off of this street.
There's so much traffic that you're probably going to get hit if you just take your time walking.
Sophomore Elizabeth Washington says sometimes it's dangerous to cross the street, but when she is driving, it is an even bigger inconvenience not to be able to cut through campus.
But it's hectic because there's literally one way in and out on campus if you're coming this way, so all these people have to go all the way around the block down by the strip to get back.
Under the proposed plan, a section of Rose Street would be transformed into a walkway, only allowing emergency vehicles to pass through. But one student says the construction has gone on for too long.
There's too many construction on campus now. It's kind of make the campus lifestyle a little bit like it's construction zone, which is awful personally for me, and I really hope that we get this done as quickly as possible.
UK spokesman Jay Blanton says they hope the walkway can be ready by next fall to go along with the opening of the new science building. In Lexington, Sabir Rayford, WKYT.
The Planning and Public Safety Committee is now reviewing UK's proposal.
The state budget debate and a possible government shutdown dominated the news the last few weeks. Margaret tonight has our good question. With all the talk of the lack of a new state budget and growing talk that Governor Bevin would not allow a special session, what will happen on July 1st with a partial government shutdown? What services and jobs will be affected? Well, with the early morning budget agreement among leaders of the legislature, it looks like there will not be a government shutdown. So here's how it pretty much all shakes out. Lawmakers burned the midnight oil to strike a deal. It took 3 weeks of bargaining between the Republican-controlled Senate and the Democratic-controlled House. The battle was over how to make cuts so that money could help stabilize the state's troubled pension fund. So here are the winners, the state pensioners. State surpluses would go into a fund to help keep money in the bank for Kentucky's pension system. Students, about $25 million, will go to work-ready scholarships for 2-year degree programs. Coal counties, more money from coal severance taxes will go directly to coal-producing counties. The governor lost out, though, on many of his requests. Instead of his 9% cuts, lawmakers agreed to 4.5% cuts to offices like the Attorney General and Secretary of State. University and college budgets also got a 4.5% cut. There won't be money, as the governor wanted to hire more public defenders and social workers. And his plan to nix funding for Planned Parenthood failed to make it. The governor can still veto lines of this budget, and because lawmakers worked up until the very last minute, they can't override any of those vetoes. To submit a good question, send an email to goodquestion@wkyt.com.
If you are in the market for a car, some Fayette County High School students might be able to help you out. That story in about 6 minutes on WKYT.
I'm Bill Bryant. Lawmakers reach a budget deal in the wee hours of this morning, and a new poll shows most of Donald Trump's supporters want him to bolt the Republican Party if he has the most delegates and isn't chosen the nominee. The bottom line is ahead.
And later on WKYT News at 6, Lexington's first female fire chief adjusting to her new position. Our Miranda Combs followed Kristen Chilton for a day on the job.
Visit our fireplace showroom or shop online at barnhillchimney.com.
These creamery shakes are so rich and creamy.
Finally a shake for an aficionado like myself.
You're a shake aficionado?
Not a shake aficionado, the shake aficionado.
Handcrafted, slow-churned creamery shakes are here. This is How You Sonic.
Shelter Insurance has covered a lot of miles and a lot of cars and drivers since 1946. We like knowing we have you covered, so you can just sit back and enjoy the ride. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Remember the feeling you got when you did something you didn't know you could do? Get that feeling again.
Everyone loved your proposal. You've won our business.
With a degree from Indiana Wesleyan University, you just might surprise yourself with what you can accomplish. Visit iwulexington.com to explore our courses. IWU, anything is possible.
We invited you here today to get your honest opinion about this new car. To keep things unbiased, we removed all the badging and logos. So what do you think it is?
Reminds me a little bit of like an Audi.
I would say Lexus. Maybe Acura.
What if I told you this is the 2016 Chevy Malibu?
Wow. This is a Malibu?
Qualified buyers get 0% financing for 60 months on this Chevy Malibu. Or find your tag and get $2,000 total cash allowance. See your Kentucky Select Chevy dealers.
Clients come into the office. The government has said, no, I don't believe you. You're not disabled.
The major problem with Social Security disability is that most people who sign up are denied at the initial level. If your claim's denied, don't give up. Call us immediately. We'll appeal your case.
We can do an effective job of representing you that will get you the benefits that you deserve.
Call Morgan, Collins, and Yeast, 1-800-55-WILDCAT.
I love grocery shopping at Kroger, but sometimes life gets busy.
So I use ClickList. It's easy. I just order online. And with thousands of great items and fresh food to choose from,
I can get what I want the way I want it, then pick up my order at the store without ever leaving my car.
And for me, that's a game changer.
Order online, pick up curbside at store. We think you're gonna love ClickList. Try it now at Kroger.com/ClickList.
These half-price cheeseburgers are the only good thing about tax day.
Right.
What are you doing, by the way?
I'm organizing my receipts.
Okay, these are all just Sonic receipts, and I pay for everything.
So we're filing jointly?
Half-price cheeseburgers on tax day, Monday, April 18th. This is How You Sonic.
Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
Lawmakers striking an 11th hour budget deal.
And some Trump supporters are saying in case of a contested convention, he should run as an independent.
Bill Bryant has the details in today's Bottom Line.
Good evening. It may be fair to say that looking at the real possibility of a special legislative session and how that could have been greeted by a firestorm of public discontent, both sides blinked in the state budget talks. Tired and weary after hours of negotiations, House and Senate leaders emerged about 3 o'clock this morning and said they had struck a budget deal. It's being printed this evening, and it will go before the full House and Senate tomorrow, where most expect it will pass. It puts $1 billion into state pensions. It does not cut universities as much as Governor Bevin had first proposed. The governor has praised the fact that the two sides have agreed on a budget. He still has the veto pen, though, and the authority to strike out things he doesn't agree with. And lawmakers have waited too long to have a chance to override any budget vetoes. Morehead State University's Faculty Senate has voted 23-11 to censure President Dr. Wayne Andrews. The Herald Leader quotes the Faculty Senate chairwoman as saying it reflects a feeling among faculty that they don't have enough input in major campus decisions. Andrews has called it a challenging time. He's not commenting on whether it may relate to his decision to furlough faculty and staff for a week. Andrews is meeting with many on campus to discuss issues. A CBS News poll out today shows most of Donald Trump's supporters want him to bolt the Republican Party if he has more delegates than other candidates but is not the party nominee. The poll shows 63% of those identify themselves as Trump supporters supporters. And those who do say that he should run as an independent or a third-party candidate if he arrives in Cleveland with the most delegates, but is not chosen as the nominee. Democrats Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders will debate tonight on CNN. That's ahead of Tuesday's New York primary. Bill Bryant, WKYT.
If you're in the market for a new ride, some students at the Eastside Technical Center may be able to help you out. Students there have repaired used cars donated to the program, and they're now ready to be sold to the public. Anyone can place a bid on 4 vehicles. The average mileage on them is about 150,000 miles. Money raised through the auction will be used to help pay for students to attend repair skills competitions.
We actually have a team in Louisville right now competing in state, and if they win state in Louisville, Kentucky, they go to Kansas next. So things like that students can go to, so they don't have to pay a lot out of pocket, so the school can pay for them.
Prospective buyers can find bidding sheets in a box on the school's front lawn, and bidding will run through April 29th.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Jim Caldwell.
Very nice weather out there, and it is going to continue as we work our way into next week. Daytime highs will soar into the 70s, maybe even close to 80 degrees once we start the new work week. But let's wrap this one up first. Let's enjoy this weekend. Southern shower chance likely out there for us this evening. And I'm talking into Whitley County, Laurel County, Bell County. You get over into Wayne County. Very small rain chances, but you could run into a shower or two. We're actually tracking some. Spring dominates this forecast with temperatures well above average. Today, we're just a few degrees. We're about 5. 70 right now in Lexington, Richmond at 70. To our friends in southern and eastern Kentucky, 72, 73, Monticello, Middlesboro, 74 in Jackson. So a lot of warmth is still showing up out there. We also have a very sharp cutoff with a cloud cover as well, showing in southern sections of the Commonwealth along the Hal Rogers Parkway and down to the Tennessee state line and beyond, of course, where we have the thick clouds and even a few showers coming together in that area. There you see it in Whitley County, getting very close to Williamsburg. And same thing there in Barberville. One little round of some lighter rain coming at you. Not a big deal at all. It'll be in and out rather quickly. Something that's not going to be in and out rather quickly will be our pollen forecasts. We're looking at oak and birch being just off the charts over the next several days here. On a scale from 0 to 12, which is the way this was rated, we're very close to the top. So that shows you just how bad it is, especially if you're an allergy sufferer. And the problem is we don't have anything making a good run at us in the next several days to shake that up or get the atmosphere going in any particular way. Here's what we've got with the hour-by-hour forecast. We go through your Friday. It's fine and dandy. There might be a stray shower chance out there. Again, just like we're tracking today, but maybe a little more toward the north and west. We have a front. It's out there, but it's way out there, and we are talking about getting hung up in the plains for the next several days. That's what you kind of need to shake up the allergy situation, which is something we're not going to be able to do with it being out in position there. Eventually, it gets here, but we have to go all the way into next week before the front rolls across Kentucky and brings us a chance of any widespread rain or any change, really, which is fine. We're okay with that because daytime highs are going to be sitting close to the low and mid-70s, even upper 70s as we get into your Monday, looks like. Hour by hour look at our temperatures. We head through the overnight hours tonight. Watch what happens. We end up in the mid and upper 40s. 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, we're already bouncing back. We get into the daytime, and there you see those upper 60s, low 70s hanging around the area again. A fantastic Friday, and it carries right on over into your Saturday. Look at Saturday morning, mid and upper 40s again. And look at Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, we're into the upper 60s, close to 70 degrees. Here we go to the 7-day forecast, which features all of the warmth and shows you the next best chance of rain. It really won't be here until we get into Wednesday, Thursday time period, probably more into your Thursday when a front rolls into town. But this is the kind of weather we needed last weekend for Keeneland. I was there last weekend. I had fun, but the problem was there's way too much of a chill in the air.
You stay inside a lot?
I tried my best. There's heaters everywhere in some of the tents. I was out on the hill for a while, went in, but yeah, I stayed warm.
Don't have that complication this week.
No, it's fantastic.
Still working 2 collisions. One's at Alumni and Tates Creek, and also one at Cooper and Castle. We just had a report of a collision on the Circle that's causing some issues. That one is on the inner loop of New Circle at Tates Creek Road, and traffic backing up, approaching that with 1 lane blocked. Drive times this afternoon. Looks like to Mount Sterling we're okay. To Winchester, 64 looks good. No major delays to Scott County on 75. Now back to you in the studio.
Officer Don, thank you. Tubby Smith landing another coaching job.
The man who spent 10 years coaching the Cats introduced today at Memphis. And with spring ball just about over, what does Mark Stoops like about his new offense? Stay with us. Sports is next.
If we're going all in on this partner thing, you need to trust that I know what I'm doing. You can try.
I won't.
You're a strange man in a strange land.
I find it strange how much you talk.
He's so flexible.
Hot potato, hot potato, hot potato.
I was impressed.
That was impressive.
New Rush Hour, CBS Tonight, or stream it live or on demand.
Kentucky Lottery jackpot sequence has been initiated. Prepare for current jackpot amount.
Saturday's Powerball jackpot is $205 million.
Nissan's family of crossovers with intuitive all-wheel drive. See driving in a more confident light. For a limited time, lease Rogue, just $189 per month, or get 0% financing for up to 36 months. Take on Mother Nature. Shop ChooseNissan.com.
Hey, man. Who do you think Captain D was? Captain D was actually regional semi-pro hockey captain Doug LaCour. Fueled by his voracious love of seafood, Doug would punch holes in the ice with his bare hands for a mid-practice snack.
Hey!
You're full of it.
He sure is, Paul. Full of Captain D's Southern-style whitefish, topped with a special blend of Nashville hot seasonings for our Nashville hot fish. For full meals at just $4.99, it's gotta be D's.
Want to fill your garage with the best value brand in America that costs less than the competition? Honda's got it. During Honda's Dream Garage Sales Event, we designed 2016 Accords, the #1 selling sedan, just $199 a month. Or drive with 0 down, 0 security, and 0 first month's payment. Accords, available with Honda Lane Watch, Brake Assist, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and more. Just $199 a month or 0 due at signing. Honda's got it at your Central Kentucky Honda dealers.
Shouldn't you have a checking account that makes your life easier? Introducing Easy Checking from Republic Bank. Relax with no minimum balance or monthly maintenance fee. Easily send money through our app with Mobile Pop Money. Remembering your password is as easy as scanning your fingerprint or eye using iPrint ID. And for easy access to your money, you can use 85,000 surcharge-free ATMs worldwide. Easy checking for your hard-earned money. We're Republic Bank, and it's just easier here.
Before contemplating the many choices on Steak and Shake's $4 menu, one must calm the mind in our Zen garden. Focus. The garlic double steak burger meal. Reflect. The taco salad meal. Zen. The original double and cheese steak burger meal.
Oh!
The $4 menu, where all meals are under $4 at Steak and Shake.
Stay connected to the news that matters to you, like WKYT on Facebook.
Tubby Smith is the new coach of the Memphis Tigers. Tubby and the school coming to terms on a 5-year, $15.4 million deal. Smith replacing Josh Pastner, who left for the Georgia Tech job. Tubby led Texas Tech to the NCAA tournament in just his 3rd season in Lubbock.
And I come to serve this community, to serve the University of Memphis. I almost said, if I say something like Minnesota, I say something about Texas Tech, you understand. I'm apologize right now if something slips.
While you were probably sleeping last night, a historic night in the NBA. First, Kobe Bryant torched Trey Lyles and the Utah Jazz, a season-high 60 points in the Lakers' 101-96 win. Kobe with 23 in the fourth quarter. He finished his 20-year run with 33,643 regular season points, third most in league history.
Tonight was, trying to go out, playing hard, and try to put on a show as much as I possibly could. And it felt good to be able to do that one last time.
In the meantime, Steph Curry poured in 46, and the Warriors earned their league record 73rd victory by thumping Memphis 125-104. Golden State's 73-9 regular season mark tops the previous best of 72-10 set by Chicago in 1995-96. Curry drained 10 more three-pointers to finish the year with 402, 116 more than the previous league record that he established a year ago. Mark Stoops saying today his team has had the best spring in his 4 years at Kentucky. The blue-white game is Saturday. Stoops hired Eddie Grant and Darren Hinshaw to come in from Cincinnati and install a pro-set offense. Lamar Thomas also has come in to coach wide receivers. He likes the way his guys on the offensive side have developed confidence.
You're never going to talk your way into having confidence. And, I'm never into that. I'm not into the false confidence and jumping around in the hoopla when you're not doing it. You get confidence by a bunch of hard work and in the details. And I feel like, with, Coach Grant and Lamar and offensive coaches, we were more efficient today than I think we've been in a long time. And it's a lot of the little things. And, so if they continue to work that way, then they'll be more confident.
Annual blue-white game will be played at Commonwealth Stadium. It can be seen on the SEC Network Saturday beginning at noon. And Sunday on the CW Lexington, Kentucky Football 2016, the blue-white game, a recap of spring practice, interviews with coaches and players as they prepare for the 2016 season. Matthew Mitchell making a change in his coaching staff. We'll have that on the next half hour. Stay with us.